To my former adversary and now new brother in the Lord, Dr. Kent Hovind.
You cannot redefine reality. But today we've got Kent Hovind trying to do exactly that as he whacks Scimandan. So get comfy because the mental gymnastics are about to begin.
Shut up and sit down, you big bald f***.
Please subscribe.
So many atheists, so little time. The winner tonight, is this the seventh time? Joseph, did you figure out?
It's a lot. I just put about 7 or 8 in there.
7 or 8?
Yeah, you're getting a lot.
Scimandan.
Now, before you fly down to the comment section and say, "Oh, Creaky, you only chose this video so you could put Scimandan in the thumbnail," allow me to clarify something for you. That's exactly why I chose this video. But before we tear Kent a new one, today's video is sponsored by Surfshark VPN. There's being online and then there's being wide open online. Every click, every search, every just having a look is being tracked, logged and sold to the highest bidder. That's why I use Surfshark, today's sponsor. It keeps your online activity private, encrypted from end to end. No shady tracking, no targeted ads following you around like a lost puppy, and no data leaks waiting to happen. But it's not just about staying hidden. Surfshark also unlocks content that's restricted in your region. Netflix, YouTube, all those not available in your country messages, gone. And if you're traveling this summer, it's a no-brainer. Public Wi-Fi is basically a hacker's buffet. Surfshark keeps you safe on the go, no matter where you are. One account covers unlimited devices, so everything's protected. Your phone, your laptop, your tablet, even your fridge, if it's got a screen. And right now you can get 4 extra months completely free. Just head to surfshark.com/Creaky and use code Creaky at checkout. That's surfshark.com/Creaky and use code Creaky for 4 extra months of Surfshark. The link is in the description.
Now, folks, you're not going to believe this.
Well, if you were saying it, Kent, you're probably right. We're not going to believe it, but I will reserve judgment until I hear what it is.
Are you ready?
Aye, aye, Captain!
I can't hear you! Are you ready?
Aye, aye, Captain!
Oh! We're going to whack Scimandan tonight. But no, got some exciting news. We no longer have to whack Scimandan. He saw the light and sent me this email. To my former adversary and now new brother in the Lord, Dr. Kent Hovind.
Yeah, we already don't believe you, Kent, because 1, it's Scimandan, not Scimandan. 2, he would rather die than refer to you as doctor, mainly because you're not one.
Not a doctor.
Shh. And 3, because... Let's just carry on.
Thank you for whacking me so many times on your Whack an Atheist show. It finally worked. You woke me up. I finally had to stop and examine what you were saying about evolution. It was hard at first because my pride kept getting in my way, but slowly I realized the truth and was able to admit it to myself. You've been right. Evolution is a dumb religion I've been believing by faith.
Evolution isn't a religion, Kent, is it? It doesn't require faith. It's the fundamental pillar of modern biology, supported by mountains of evidence from genetics, fossil records, comparative anatomy, embryology, biogeography, and even direct observations in labs and in nature. When you claim it's faith, you're just misrepresenting the very nature of scientific inquiry. And it's strange how this email from Scimandan reads as you would write. You can write, Kent, can't you? We're not buying it. If this email is from Scimandan, then I'm the man in the moon.
I have really been brainwashed into believing many things that simply are not true. Thank you for shining the light so I could see. I finally saw the truth about the so-called geologic column. Like you say so often on your show, it doesn't exist. I can't believe I fell for it, all the silly propaganda I was taught in high school. How can the layers be different ages? As you kept saying, every speck of dirt in the universe is the same age, whether 6,000 or 6 billion. It's all the same age. Moving it over to be on top doesn't change the age. Once that light turned on in my mind, it all began to make sense.
Whoa, this just keeps getting better and better. If this email really is from Scimandan, and it's an email, mind you, where Dan has supposedly woken up to the truth that the geological column doesn't exist and that every speck in the universe is the same age, then maybe the Earth is actually flat. Maybe they did fake the moon landings. Or maybe, just maybe, Kent has just made it all up for some bizarre reason. Which do you think it is? Comment now before the truth is revealed.
All those polystrata trees you show, the out-of-place fossils and artifacts found in layers I was taught they shouldn't be in, the clear evidence that dinosaurs always lived with man that you show on DVD number 3.
Hang on a second. So you're saying that not only has Scimandan flipped from being a science educator to a science denier, he's also invested his own money in your DVDs?
The wild dates you get with carbon dating and so many other things I was led to believe as a child, and in school were simply there to make me not believe the Bible, and especially the flood in Noah's time. I'm so glad you were persistent in shining the light of real science.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
No one's talking about science. What is it all about?
No, I have no clue.
It happened just like you said it would. I took a hard, honest look at the evidence, and I had to admit, the Bible's right. God made everything in 6 literal days about 6,000 years ago, and the world was destroyed in Noah's flood, which made nearly all the fossils. Huge seams of coal, billions of tons of oil, nearly all the layers of rock, huge canyons, continental shelf, and so many other things we see on this earth. How could I have not seen it?
Look, for now, we'll still go along with, yes, Scimandan sent this email. So my answer to that thing that Ken just said is, the reason Dan didn't see it is because it's not real.
I was, just as Peter said in 2 Peter 3, willingly ignorant.
Ah, right, there it is again. So Dan has not only flipped from being an educator to an idiot and invested his own money in your DVDs, even though nobody's got a DVD player anymore, so what would be the point? Alright, I know some of you will have DVDs you don't need to tell me in the comments. Unless you want to, of course, engagement is engagement. But he's also managed to find time to read the entire Bible and memorize verses from it to put in an email to you. Yeah, I'm starting to think that Dan didn't write this email.
Then, just as you said would happen, once I saw the Bible was true, about 2 weeks later, I sat up in bed in the middle of the night and said, oh no, the Bible's true. This changes everything. I better find out what it says and do what it says.
You know, it's hard to believe that Kent has written books, isn't it? Oh, crap. You don't know yet that he wrote this email to himself. Poop.
It's been a difficult but wonderful last week. I first confessed to God that I was a guilty sinner and begged him for his forgiveness and salvation. When Jesus came into my heart, the light flooded into my soul and mind as I accepted the truth. It was like a great burden was lifted off my shoulders and I was set free. I felt clean and born again. Almost right away, I began to think of all the people I've been deceiving over the years into believing that silly evolution religion with my shows, and started wondering, how could I ever undo all the damage I have done in my teaching?
You know, while Kent is waffling on reading out Dan's email, I'm trying to think of a word to describe exactly what it is we're watching. And there's one word that keeps coming into my mind over and over again. Now, we all know that Kent never provides any evidence which would support the Earth only being 6,000 years old, but this video is a new low even for Kent, and the word that keeps popping into my brain hole is pathetic. Kent, this is pathetic, and so are you, because you've done this.
I know my conversion will probably make me lose followers on my channel and lose revenue, but the truth must be told. God will provide for me his new baby. I'd love to fly over to America and visit your dinosaur adventureland and have you baptize me in your lake. Would you do that for me?
Well, if it was me, Dan, I wouldn't risk it personally. You've upset him even more than I have, so maybe that baptism wouldn't go well.
I know I have a lot to unlearn now, and I'm so excited about reading the Bible and growing in the Lord. Thank you for providing so much good content to help new believers like me understand God's Word. I'll be watching your shows every day and supporting your efforts to reach the lost like you reached me. Please keep going for the Lord. Your former adversary and now friend, Dan, aka Scimandan.
Right, couple of things, Kent. Putting Dan's real name in there, bit of a dick move. And secondly, while I appreciate the dramatic flair, perhaps next time try using actual evidence instead of inventing conversations with people who are against everything you stand for. Because when you start making up emails to support your already debunked claims, it doesn't just make you look like a complete tool, it makes your Well, yeah, that's exactly what it does. So keep it up. What am I talking about? But this is exactly the kind of nonsense I love responding to.
I wrote that email to save Dan time when it does happen.
Ah, right. So now you're not only a science denier and a fraud and a liar and a fraud, and did I say liar? But you've just added delusional to that. The day that Scimandan becomes a young Earth creationist is the day that I'll do something, maybe.
He can just cut and paste and send it to me after tonight's one more whack. Okay? We love you, Dan. We want to see you give your heart and talents to the Lord. We pray for you.
What talents? Because according to you, people like myself and Scimandan are always 100% wrong. So what talents exactly are you hoping he will provide you with, Ken?
Meanwhile, and right here, no, that ain't it. Okay. Aha, there. Dan isn't true. Dan, let me explain to you, okay? We're not against science. I'm not against education. We love science. I'm not against science. None of that. We love it. But evolution isn't part of it. Wouldn't you do just about anything to stop him? You really believe nobody designed that? It just happened by chance? How can you believe that? Or you're stupid. That's not true. I love science. Don't accuse me of not liking science. I love it. Lots of it. Biology, earth science, physical science. I love them.
Evolution isn't part of it, yeah.
Well, you tell me that wasn't a perfect summary of Kent Hovind's debating technique. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you again on Monday. Love you. Bye.
Well, ha, ha, ha.
So this young couple are trying to settle down for the evening and watch a bit of Netflix and chill, if you know what I'm saying. And the boyfriend says, do you fancy watching Moby Dick? And the girlfriend says, oh no, I don't like porn. And he said, oh, it's not porn. He said, it's about whales. And she said, well, I don't like the Welsh either.
I don't think so. No, 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 no. I don't think so. No, 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 no. It's never, ever, ever,